Hi, everyone. So, I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the symptoms that I've experienced or still experience because of autism. So, obviously, one of the symptoms is that it can be harder to keep eye contact. So, when I was younger, it was harder for me. So, this is something that definitely got better, but it simply doesn't feel natural. Okay. So, at its worst, when I was looking at straight into the eyes of some people, um, I could even it could even hitch a little bit, okay, in my eyes. And for some autistic people, you could even cry actually to stay that long looking straight into their eyes. It's just it's definitely not pleasant. Okay, and I force myself to look at people to look at straight into their eyes, but it took a lot of time actually for this thing to get much better, but it's still not perfect. Okay, so it's not natural for me to do that, but it's possible that I think that there's some exceptions, it seems. So it's possible for my parents or maybe a couple more family members, I could feel much better and I can actually do it, but no more. Okay, for the others, it's just not something that works really well for me, but at least it got better. So after we have some repetitive behaviors, okay, so sometimes I can be agitated and I can walk in my house constantly. Okay, this is something that can happen still today. I can also do something that is called body rocking. Okay, so I can move forward and backwards like that. Okay, which is common among autistic people. So, so I have a little story about that. It's that when I was younger, okay, but in my early 20s, um, I did that sometimes. Okay, maybe it was early 20s or mid 20s. I remember that I did that, but I couldn't accept at the time that I was autistic. I didn't believe it. Like I realized that this was a symptom of autism, but I felt that maybe it was related to maybe some mental disorders. Okay, and that I became like more sensible, and that it was not because of autism. I simply couldn't accept it. But later, it became even worse. Okay, and this is when I looked at some symptoms of autism, Asperger's syndrome on the internet. I finally accepted it. Okay, so yeah. So as you can see, you can be aware that you have some symptoms of autism and be incapable of accepting that you're autistic. Okay, it's not necessarily easy. So another thing that happened for me is obviously a lot of isolation. And what happened is that around maybe 17 years old, I stopped eating with my parents, except for Christmas and New Year's Eve. Okay, so there were like a couple exceptions only. Yeah, sometimes we went to a restaurant, but not many times. It definitely seems to be related to autism. So what I was doing is that I was staying in my room. Most of the time, I was playing video games, watching movies, and no, I simply didn't feel the need to eat with them. I didn't care whatsoever. And I must say that this isolation. Well, I'm still isolated right now, but I lived with my parents for 32 years. Okay, so that's pretty freaking terrible. And autism is it's a big reason for that. But of course, I also developed some mental disorders along the way, unfortunately. So yeah, today I am living alone in an apartment for. I've been living here for little bit more than 1 year, but I'm still isolated, unfortunately. Which leads to the other problem that is extremely common among autistic people is the lack of social skills. It's pretty hard, okay, to go towards people and to want to talk to them. You may not care whatsoever about it. You may not even know how to talk to them, how to hack sometimes. And I still suffer because of that. Even up to this day, I know that I have to force myself to go out there and meet some people, even if I don't give a shit about it, just to try to get better at it. But I still didn't do it. I said that I was going to do it this summer, and I still didn't, right? I'm not surprised. So it's very complicated. And I know that I may have to try to find some people that have some common interest with me, maybe on the internet, and then to meet them. But just like a lot of other autistic people, it just doesn't feel natural. Like I said, you have to force yourself. Okay, it's very hard, and I have to say that I really like to be alone. That's the thing. I am not happy, but I really like it. That's the thing. It's very important for me to have a space for me, okay, and just for me. And I feel good when I'm alone, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of autistic people feel the same. But, at some point, you gotta force yourself, and even if I failed again, I still think that at some point, I will finally succeed, okay? And I will go out there and finally meet some strangers, and it's going to probably be difficult, but it's going to ultimately help me to feel more comfortable talking with people, and ultimately help me to achieve some of my future goals, okay? Because I have some current goals, but also have some goals in the future. And it's going to be very important for me to develop those social skills. And of course, because of that, I still have never had a girlfriend for all those years. And I am 33 years old now. So developing those skills will also help me to finally get a girlfriend, hopefully. So that's about it, okay? Maybe I have other symptoms, but that's some of the big ones that I've experienced and still experience, unfortunately. So thanks for watching, and see you in another video.